From the News Talk STL studios in St. Louis and an undisclosed, very quiet room in Baldwin, it's the Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter. And tonight's episode, oh boy, it's a very special episode because Todd just had eyeball surgery and could not come into the studio. So Mitch Murphy, take the night off. We don't need your stupid band. Now, putting the fun in your dysfunctional world, here's your host, Todd Showalter.
Wow, buddy. I tell you what. Hey, you know what? I've got my eye on you. You know what that means?
What's that mean?
I've got my eye on you because I have my only eye on you. You're not going to believe what happened. Okay. Now, first of all, let me just preface this whole show. Okay. I've had like maybe 2 hours of sleep in the last 5 days. So, and I usually only have 3 hours. Okay. So I'm a little deprived. But anyway, last week, okay, now when we did the show in studio, I saw everything perfectly, all right? Crystal clear vision, not a problem at all. I thought maybe like there was just like a little shadow off to the right side, like on Friday. I go in to get my eyeglasses checked, and she said, hey, I think that you have a detached retina. And let me just say this. All hell broke loose between last time that we sat down in the studio and right now because I had to be rushed in for like some kind of emergency surgery on Monday. They cut my eyeball all up. They've got my retina like all reconfigured and it's reconfigured everything. If I use weird words that don't make any sense, it's not the drugs because I'm not taking painkillers. But anyway, they had to rebuild my retina, like tape it with duct tape like my car to the back of my eyeball. I have to like be face down like I'm embarrassed to be myself like for the next 2 weeks. But hey, the show must go on. We're doing this show one-eyed.
And everyone needs to know also, freshly showered. You went 4 days without even taking toilet paper to your body.
5 days, okay? 5 days. The mullet was just like all getting stringy and there were bugs in it and everything. You know, I just got to tell you, here's the hardest part. Again, you have your eyeball all chopped up and everything, okay? And now, I'm wearing this. And by the way, I just want to jump right to this. If I ever make a Mike Ferguson joke, I just want you to slap me. I want you to slap me like a baby and just say, Todd, shut up. I don't want to hear another Mike Ferguson joke because I feel so much sympathy for this guy now. Anyway, I have this eye patch on like Mike Ferguson had, but the worst part of this, again, with what I have, you have to be face down, okay? Now, I've been face down a lot in my life, and it usually wasn't back in the college days, it was alcohol related. But now I am face down because you got to let this little air bubble or this thing they stick in your eyeball squeeze up against the back of your retina and keep it in place so it doesn't detach. Is this good radio? Are we making people sick?
This is incredible radio. Yeah, Mike Ferguson, He played old man baseball, and he was always the catcher, still is to this day. And I think he took a ball to the face, just like you may have had in your injury. And they had to do the exact same thing. He had a detached retina. He had to wear an eye patch. We made fun of him for a year. It took a long time to heal. And now
Don't say that.
I know. Now you're going to have to rely on him, get some sympathy out of him, find out what the process was like so you know what to expect, manage your expectations. And you've been sending pictures every day, so it sounds like you're not ashamed of how you look. This is great content. It's great for radio.
Here is the thing. I have my face in this thing, not right now, but it's like a toaster or something. I don't know. And you can't sleep with this thing. You have to be face down in this thing, all right? And you can't sleep because you can't roll over. Otherwise, your eyeball won't work. And so I've got to be motionless in this thing forever, and I haven't gotten any sleep. Can you tell? Can you tell I'm a little sleep deprived?
Yeah, I saw your face for a second because I pranked you saying, oh, your microphone's not working, but it was me the whole time. And then your camera popped up on your phone, and I saw you were real puffy. I think you need some preparation H on that face. We got to shrink it up.
Well, I know the whole face is all. Did I have pants on? Because I'm so delirious right now. I don't even know if I'm wearing anything. No, it's amazing. It's horrible.
Now, what is your expectations for doing artwork? Do you have to stop doing your doodles and your cartoons for a week or two?
Well, yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, I've got my one eye and stuff, but I just don't. I think I got to take a little bit of a break. It's this whole sleep deprivation thing. So I don't know. I haven't taken a break in about 3 or 4 years, so I guess I'll do it. But it's just, it's really debilitating. But did I preface before that I was perfectly fine perfectly fine last week. And I probably, had I not gone into Sam's with my wife, who was getting her eyeglasses checked, and got my eyeglasses checked, I probably wouldn't have even done anything. But then, like I said, all hell broke loose, and you would have thought it was the end of the world. We got to have surgery right away, stat.
And they just took you back into the bakery at the Sam's Club right there?
No, it was not. No, they redid it. It's like a new refrigerator section or something like that. And I said, this is the craziest surgery center I've ever seen. No, I had to...
it pays to be a member. You think Sam's Club, oh, it's just people who walk out with their groceries without paying. But they are paying. They just have a special app. But you get the full turning cough.
I wouldn't know if they paid or not, because did I mention I only have one eye right now? No, I had to go to this place. It's called the Retina Institute, okay? And they've got these great doctors there and stuff.
There's people who drive their car into that sign constantly. Like, where is it?
That's just it. And that's what I couldn't tell if they were running into anything or not, because I can't see them. But I mean, so I go see somebody on Saturday, and it's always and I'm expecting, it's no big deal. And instead, I get, this isn't good. I don't like hearing that if I have like a paper cut, So now we got to do this emergency surgery on Monday, which was I don't even know what day it is. Last Monday. And so they do this, and now, and here I am. But the show must go on.
Are you having to use any sort of drops as well, or is it just laying face down?
I don't want to make this all about my eye, but I guess we will. But yeah, you got to put drops in it. And I'm supposed to take painkillers, but I don't do painkillers because you know what a tough guy I am. So I don't want to get all strung out and be like one of those people like in the Oxy Netflix shows where the next thing you know, I'm robbing your medicine cabinet to keep my fix alive. Actually, I couldn't do that because I couldn't see your medicine cabinet because I only have one eye.
Yeah, we always joke about how in your college days that you used to be a wild man, that you did drink a little bit, ended up face down. And now you partake in the NA beer, the non-alcoholic beer. So it sounds like you may have a slight addictive personality. When we go to the horse track, you get very emotional when these ponies don't come in the way you want them to. So it's smart for you to lay off the oxys.
I'm laying off the oxy and I'm laying off the ponies, because if there's one thing worse than oxy is a one-eyed jockey riding a horse, and I'm not doing either one. But it's just been a heck of a week, my friend, a heck of a week.
It seems like your wife is being nice to you because you keep taking pictures of the cat on your back and the dog just laying there noodled up next to you. And it makes me think, well, he didn't take that picture. It's from across the bedroom. So she's taking pictures of you in your state and sending them to all your friends?
Here's what I get up and I stage this whole thing with my tripod and everything. I mean, I take some test shots because I'm going for the maximum sympathy, And so, I want to make sure it looks okay. And so I look at it with my good eye. And if that works, then I send it out to you. And, hopefully you'll share it with the world. I got to tell you this, though, my friend. Everybody, aside from you, okay, you're not going to believe who the most compassionate, nice guy at that station is. It's our buddy Stell.
Oh,
of
course.
He has checked in on me. He says, I have prayers for you, buddy. I just want to make sure you're doing okay. I mean, Stell, along with you, I think he has to join my best friend club. Here's the thing, too, by the way. You don't realize these things, but how many times people use like visual references just in everyday talk or like on television or something, which, by the way, I can't see the television because I have my face in a toaster. But when I'm listening to it, for example, I'm watching this Netflix, the Dallas Cowboys thing last night, last couple nights, and if I heard it once, I heard it a million times. Well, we really have our vision. We have our eye on the Super Bowl. We have, that our big vision. And it's all these visual references. Like, I don't want to hear anything about eyes, vision, anything, because it's making me really self-conscious. And then I don't want to watch the thing, so I decide I'm going to go back to sleep, but I can't because I got my face in a toaster and I'm not supposed to move.
Same with Dora the Explorer, which I know is your favorite show. She's always saying stuff like, what color is my backpack? You're like, damn it, Dora. I don't even know the word for purple in Spanish. You got to give me a hint.
And that's what I'm talking about. I think they're doing it on purpose. Do you ever feel? And then I'm thinking they're not doing it on purpose because this is just a sleep deprivation.
I want to actually apologize to another company in the building that we have made fun of constantly, and that is the Jack Shack next door, because I know that they have one of those toaster full-size toaster things that you put your face in. They got like one of those lay-down massage tables with the hole that you stick your face in. And we see the truck drivers going in and out of there. It's Saturday at 7 a.m. all the time. So we know that it's not just a regular massage place, but you having to keep your face down in one of those donut type things the whole time. It's not as relaxing as they make it sound.
No, it's not. I got to tell you what, if I'm never going to get a massage. I'm never going to do anything. And I'm going to take this damn thing and I'm going to like blow it up and I'm going to throw it over a cliff, because you get to the point where, it's just not even, when you just see something that makes you sick. Now it's like, before I had to get used to the feel of the thing. Now, if I just smell or see the thing, I start getting nauseous. And that's another thing too. This sleep deprivation and the whole eye thing is making me a little queasy. So if all of a sudden I start retching right here, you can just cut that part.
And your face donut is green. It makes me think they know people puke when they're in them. They don't actually have a place to put in special scents like the rainbow vacuum cleaner I had as a kid. You could put a few drops of Scentsies in there and it would smell up the whole house in a great way. No, it smells like medical grade plastic and your face is in it the whole time.
Something like that. It's just horrible. And I think if there's anything that comes out of this whole situation, this whole rambling story, is just don't go to Sam's. If you think you got something, heart attack, eye problem or something, just stay the heck away from Sam's, because you're going to be in surgery in 48 hours if you do.
You're probably going to get a hernia putting all those kayaks, those 6-pack kayaks that they have at Sam's, into your cart. Todd, please, shut up. We need to take a break. The advertiser said that they want to be on this groundbreaking episode, so when we come back, we will talk more about your eyeball that almost popped out of your head. Welcome back to a very special episode of The Right Mind Show. We've got Todd Showalter's eyeball standing by, hanging on by a thread, because it almost popped out of his head. Todd, where were we before the break? We were talking about your surgery and how you can't see anything out of one eye. I was actually thinking it's because of your running. Your constant jogging jostled your eyeball loose.
Do you think that's what it could be? Because I was asking somebody, and one of the many people I've spoken with, and they were saying, well, it could be this, it could be that. But then it got to the point where I talked to, he's the big guy, the big his eyeball doctor, okay, the surgeon. And I asked him the same question. I go, what could have possibly caused, in your professional opinion, what could have caused this? And he says, bad luck. Bad luck.
Is it an STD? I mean, oh my God, you got too close to Mike Ferguson. He sneezed on you.
It's not. Well, maybe that's it. I don't know. But bad luck. I mean, what I've heard. Bad luck is like picking the wrong Powerball tickets or something. I mean, but you don't go. Your retina doesn't fall off. Have you ever had anything where your retina or any type of bodily part of you has just fallen off?
No, but one of my theories is brain too big. You're the smartest guy I know. You're constantly thinking about things to draw cartoons about, and then it's just getting so swole with all that knowledge, it just pops one of your eyeballs out. There's not enough room in that skull of yours.
I guess so. I have no idea.
Or the hairspray you use. Maybe there's a side effect to that. It's a lot of hairspray.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said. I'm not going deaf now, too, am I? If I go deaf and blind, this is going to be a challenging show. Yeah, it could be the hairspray. I have no idea. Maybe I got the hairspray in my eye. Is there anything good going on? Because I've been out of the loop for the last 4 days. Tell me some happy news. I mean, aside from, I'm sure that Michelle and Joe and Jeff and those guys are all crying and they're upset because they miss me so much. But aside from that, is there anything happy going on at the station or in your life in general?
Well, I've got good news. Couple of my family members can't make it to Six Flags with us on Friday, so we actually have an extra ticket just for you if you can ride roller coaster. If you can get cleared by Friday.
I'm glad that you brought that up too, because you can't see it here on the show, okay? But you're going to love this story. I'm wearing a green bracelet. Say, hey, Todd, why are you wearing a green bracelet?
Why are you wearing a flea bag bracelet that your dog wears?
Well, let me tell you why. Because when they do this procedure, and I swear I'm only going to talk about this for another 40 minutes or so, here's what they do. They put this gas in your eye to swell it, to hold whatever, the back of the retina in place. But You've got to wear this bracelet because if you go to a high altitude or in an airplane, your eyeball will explode. I mean, can you imagine, my friend? I'm sitting next to you on the Southwest flight to Peoria or something. You're having your peanuts, or no, you're having your pretzels because you can't have peanuts anymore. And all of a sudden, hey, I've got my eye on you. Literally, it's on your shoulder. It just exploded. So you can't go in high altitudes, airplanes, or roller coasters. So I'm not going to be with you on Six Flags on Friday. Otherwise, my eyeball will explode.
The hot air balloon race is Friday. Can you go up in the hot air balloon with me?
Only if you want my eye to explode.
Okay.
I mean, that would be certainly something. I mean, what did I mention last week? I was perfectly fine. I mean, perfectly. And this is a good. I mean, you right now, you're all happy-go-lucky, right? You're fine. Right? A week from now, we could be talking. You could have no arms and legs. I mean, they could just fall off. You just don't know. You don't know what to expect. You have no idea what to expect.
We're going to have a pretty big funeral episode next week, so tune in for that. And then the show will go on. It'll be the Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter minus Todd Showalter. But this show will never be canceled, even if you're dead.
Well, no, that's just it. Because, I was saying, I mean, we may have to like postpone this week, but and then I felt guilty about it. But you reminded me, you gave me the old college Gipper football speech. The show must go on. Was that from the Gipper or was that something else? But anyway, the show had to go on. So I am here. Seriously, I'm sitting here with my face in a toaster or a massage toaster with no pants on and an eye patch doing the Right Mind Show.
Now, what is your wife doing to take care of you? Is she feeding you soup from behind with a little reach around action?
Not too much. Cause she's like she'll be the first to admit that she would make a terrible nurse because she's really she gets grossed out about stuff. So not that it's gross, even though it is, but she helps with these eye drops that you got to do because I can't yet. And so she tries to do that. But now my lovely, my daughter-in-law, she came over with Benny the dog, and she got to put my eye drops in this morning. So, I mean, that means it's your turn next. So just get in line. Hopefully you don't get grossed out by the sight of an eye that could explode if I go to a high altitude.
Yeah, your eyes will be closed, so you won't know who's doing reverse cowgirl on you when I'm dropping those eye drops in.
I wouldn't know. It could be you, and then that would be like, oh my God! I mean, then all hell would go. I seriously, did I mention I've only had like 2 hours of sleep in 5 days?
Well, you've been hilarious so far, so I think
it's
worth it.
Have I really?
Yeah.
So my pain, because if my pain and my anguish, and I'm deeply depressed, my friend. Can you tell how deeply depressed I am? I may not be. I mean, okay, because this is really your sight. That's a big thing. It really messes you up, and so I'm depressed. As long as I'm cheering you up, and I hope I'm cheering some other people up too, I mean, then it's all worth it. Okay, I can just be Stevie Wonder. I don't care. I don't want to be that bad. But I mean, as long as I'm cheering you up.
There is a revelation I just had. Remember when we were at the art fair back when you were sighted? This was like a couple weeks ago.
I could see then. I could see the pictures.
I was telling you a story about one of the booths that was there. There was this place called Mind's Eye Radio, and it's radio for blind people. And I told you that I applied for a job at this place, Mind's Eye Radio. It's inside Lady of the Snows in Illinois. And what they do is they take all these great articles from the newspaper and they read them live on the air so all these blind people can still keep up with the news of the day. Well, I applied for a job at Mind's Eye, and I almost got the job, and then they saw that I had filthy tweets, just the filthiest of tweets, and they said, this is a
How do they see them if they're blind?
No, the people that work in the main office, they are the sighted. They're the ones that are in charge. So they said, unfortunately, because of your filthy tweets, we can't hire you. I was like, I'll delete it, please, please. And then, nope, they did not hire me, and I put a hex on them. And then all of this led up to Jimmy Kimmel getting canceled.
So Jimmy Kimmel's canceled because you did the Mind's Eye thing, which indirectly caused me to have to go to Sam's to get my glasses checked, which never happened because I had to have surgery on Monday. So you're saying this is all your fault?
Yeah, be careful about what you put out on social media because your job can fire you even before they hire you, because it's not just free speech, as everyone argues. It's you making the company look bad. Jimmy Kimmel made ABC and Nexstar look bad, and now he's canceled indefinitely, just like me at Mind's Eye Radio.
Have you noticed, though, that I've had to work for myself for the last 500 years? I think that may be part of it. I think I was offensive on social media before there was social media. It really is quite something, but I do have an eye patch on, and so I do, people say, are you going to be a pirate for Halloween? I said, no, I'm going to be Mike Ferguson. But then once again, I just broke my rule that I'm not going to do any Mike Ferguson jokes because now I have the highest level of sympathy for him.
We were also talking about how when I worked at Radio Disney, I was the last one out the door. I got to take everything home that was in the warehouse when the station got sold. And I brought home 10,000 eye patches. And every Halloween, I fill a candy bowl with about 200 of them, and nobody really takes them. And we were just talking about that with Tony Colombo at the news station, just about how Joey's going to bring in all these eye patches for Halloween again. And now you've got your own. You don't even need me.
This is really starting to get eerie. This is scarier than that dang movie you went and saw last night. All these things that we threw out in the universe have come back and multiplied right in my eye.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid because, and you know what? It's not just, I say a lot of offensive things. I'm waiting for like my tongue to get all tight and fall out of my head next. I mean, who knows what could happen? Bits and pieces of my body could start falling off in my lap. Wait a minute. Oh, never mind. That was just Benny the dog. I thought I lost a nipple. Anyway, I mean, things could start falling off any second.
It's like that Stephen King book, Thinner, just getting skinnier all the time. My goodness.
What's his problem, by the way? Stephen King, he says all these horrible things about Charlie Kirk and stuff. And you notice this. Now, seriously, I've been kind of out of the loop because I haven't been sleeping, but I have gotten a few little nuggets here and there. But all these people saying these crazy things regarding the Charlie Kirk assassination, and then they're all shocked when they get in trouble for it. I mean, you say something totally asinine, and then you're shocked that you get in trouble for it? I mean, seriously, don't you find that a little stupid and strange?
Yeah, it's hard for me to feel bad for Stephen King, but he is also the master of fiction. So he was just making up things he had heard about Charlie Kirk, and then he had to redact it because he had no idea that it was made up. And you're like, well, I don't know. You are a scary-looking guy who got ran over by a car. Maybe you're not at your most smartest right now.
But he didn't have to wear an eye patch, I bet.
Nah, I can't remember. When he got ran over by that car, he was in pretty rough shape, but he was ugly to begin with.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, that's
true.
No,
I said something mean about Stephen King. Now I'm going to be in trouble. I love this movie, The Long Walk. There you go, Stephen. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're going to have to retract that whole thing. So, wait, you're going to Six Flags? Is that place still open? I mean, I remember I used to go to Six Flags all the time, like with those season passes and stuff like that. But, I mean, I don't think I've been to Six Flags in about 20 years. I mean, so is it still the same? Do they have the same rides? Or what is, I mean, they used to come, I used to see commercials all the time for Six Flags. I don't see anything anymore. What is at Six Flags right now that's so big that you're going to go to?
Well, they start up Hacktoberfest / Fright Fest all at the same time this weekend. So what they do is they get everyone drunk, and then at about 6 o'clock, they flip a switch, and they scare the poop out of all the little kids. And all the kids just crying is what makes it worthwhile. Wow. So then their parents are beating them for crying.
Wow. So they're crying. They're crying out of their eyes, right?
Yeah, Chainsaw Man comes out of the side over here, clown with a butcher knife over there, and you're like, well, we were just freaking eating corn on the cob a minute ago, and then at 6 o'clock, the whole place goes crazy.
And you wanted me to come with you, you're saying, is to see this, which, again, I can't see? Was that just a mean joke?
That is a mean joke. I wanted the Screaming Eagle to just pluck that little eyeball of yours out.
It wouldn't have had to. It would have blown up because it's too high of an altitude. I told you, if you go to too high of an altitude. And that's the other thing. I have to go to the follow-up after this operation on Tuesday with this band on my arm saying, don't go to high altitudes. Well, this doctor's office is like the top of this big building. So I'm going up to see the doctor's at the top of this big building waiting for my eye to explode.
Maybe it's like the bends when you come up from doing deep sea diving. Like every elevator floor, you have to get off and sit for 5 minutes and acclimate. And then you get back on, go up one more floor. And this is an all-day situation because your doctor's on the 23rd floor.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I couldn't tell you because I couldn't see. I mean, and I guess that's why the numbers in elevators they have Braille too, which I also used to make fun of.
So the drive-up ATMs. We were just making fun of the Braille at the drive-up ATM.
You are right. I think this is all coming back to bite me in the arse. I think it's all. I think I put this to. Well, you know what? I'm going to be a choir boy from now on. I'm going to be so. No, I'm not. But, I am going to, I'll watch what I say because obviously it's going to come back and bite you if you're not careful.
What's a one positive thing that's come out of this? Like, are people taking care of you, or you finally know what your belly button looks like because you're always looking down? Any positives at all?
One positive thing, probably how much Benny the dog cares about me. I mean, Benny the dog has really shown his true colors. I mean, he's been by my side. I mean, nonstop. He sleeps next to me. And Benny the dog is kind of like my granddog dog. I mean, because he's TJ and Elise, my son and daughter-in-laws. But he's been spending the time with me. And it just made me realize that, something like I knew right away that he wasn't going to guilt trip me for not, having dinner with him on set this week. and he's just been by my side. And I guess the one positive I've gotten out of this is just how much dogs really can sense how that you're not feeling well and that they're there by your side literally until, does that make sense? He's just been with me the entire time.
Yeah, you have sent some incredible pictures of Ed the cat sleeping on your back, and then Benny the
Ed's
dog.
Ed's an asshole. Okay, because Ed, he just sits on my back, and he's just, I don't want him on my back. Benny just cuddles next to me. Ed's just upset because he knows that if I die, he'll never be fed again. So that's Ed's whole shtick. But Benny the dog, that's a whole different story. So dogs, I mean, they're. I think I'm starting. I got to say, I'm starting to become more of a dog person than a cat person, my friend.
They've got a sixth sense, and it's love. The picture that you sent of Benny the dog, he's literally licking your little arm next to your green bracelet. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Well, he's trying to remind me that I got a green bracelet, so don't go on a roller coaster with you at Six Flags this weekend.
I think he's actually a service dog now. You can take him into Walmart or Sam's or wherever you want. You can put him on the plane with you.
Not on a plane because my eye will explode. That's what, maybe we should get Admiral Andy's dog. What, Alma the dog, the service dog?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he'll let me borrow it we kind of lost track of Admiral Andy.
Oh, we just need the vest. We don't really need the whole, having Andy on the show.
We get a hold of him. We get a hold of him and just get the dang vest and then just see if we can borrow that. Yeah, it's almost time for my pill.
Which you don't take oxys. It's just your vitamin C.
I don't take any pain pills because I saw too many of those shows. That one with Michael Keaton, the Oxy thing, and next thing you know, I'm fine. This makes me feel better. And seriously, then you're out, shaking people down and robbing them and going through their medicine cabinets and robbing banks. I don't need that kind of crap. No, not me. And I have too many other things to do. And you're right. Maybe I will draw a cartoon because this way, if it's not good, you notice a lot of people always like to comment on the cartoons like you suck or something like that. Well, now I could say, well, I have an excuse, because I only have one eye. So maybe that'll be a positive.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see what your cartoons look like with only one eye. I mean, they're not really 3D cartoons in the first place. They can't get any worse. Yeah.
That's it. Thank you. See, there you go. There you go. And that would normally hurt me, but I'm concentrating on my eye too much. I don't know. It's a weird and wacky thing. I got to find out next Friday, if I still got to have my face in this toaster. But until then, I'll be totally sleep deprived. So again, if we do it this way next week, I could just be babbling more than I am now.
Do they give you a percentage of 100% recovery? Like there's a 70% chance you'll be 100% recovered, or this surgery was just them to buy themselves a new car. The doctors are in on it with the pharmaceutical companies and the insurance companies.
I kind of thought that because again, I was saying, I see perfectly fine. And they say, well, it's just like a 90-something% chance as long as you keep your face here in this toaster. But you don't know. And I talked to some other people that have had it and they said, no, everything worked out okay. And then you reminded me that Mike Ferguson didn't do too well. So I guess it's just a coin flip. I don't know, buddy, anything else you got?
No, I think if we want to have time for our next guest, we can sign off here and bring someone in and see how they can make fun of you, because I'm all out of zingers.
Me too. Okay.
Coming up next on this very special episode of The Right Mind Show, where Todd's eyeball is almost popped out of his head, we've got Gary Wiegert, former police sergeant of the city of St. Louis, talking about how he's selling drugs now, I think. Welcome back to a very special episode of The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter, where Todd is nursing his detached retina back to health. Now let's go to our interview with retired St. Louis City Police Sergeant Gary Wiegert.
Should we call Gary Wiegert?
Let's call Gary.
Hello.
Gary, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Hey, I tell you what, I talked to you the other day. I'm still, I'm still without this eye situation, and I was on my way to the doctor, and you agreed to come on because you got this big news about this new venture that you're, doing that has. What does that have to do with THC or something like that? What is this that you're involved with? First of all, it's Gary Wiegert, our police friend, and I'm getting by on 4 hours of sleep in 4 days, Gary. So bear with me. But tell us about this new venture that you've got going.
Okay, so, formerly I was with the cannabis industry and working with them, and I was a lobbyist for Show Me Cannabis and worked as head of security in the cannabis industry. But the cannabis industry is getting all bought up by a couple of big companies. And so right now, industrial hemp is a counter to the cannabis industry, and it's for free markets.
What does that mean?
So, industrial hemp has very small amounts of THC in it, and it has a product called Delta 9 that I do not understand. I've never smoked marijuana in my life. I probably never will.
Really?
But it does, never in my life, ever.
And and you're in this industry now. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. Well, that was one of the things. I was in law enforcement, and I used to arrest these people for marijuana. It was a big waste of time. It gave records to people who really weren't criminals. So, so I supported medical marijuana because I believe it helped out a lot of sick people. And so that's how I kind of got into the industry. And I'm no longer in the industry because I worked for a couple of women, 3 women who were small owners of we infused products. We did the vape pens or whatnot. But the trouble is all the small businesses that we sold to are all getting bought out by the big boys. And so it's really become a closed market. And so now you have the industrial hemp people have come in, and now they are competition to the marijuana people, to the cannabis people.
So, and that's what I was kind of interested in, because you were saying that what you're in, you've got one segment that pretty much pushes everybody out, and what you're trying to do is kind of like ease your way in, or what exactly are you trying to do? Are they two different, totally different products?
They're just made differently. Okay. And what happens is, because of the right to farm bill, you are allowed to grow industrial hemp now. And so from that industrial hemp, they pull out that small percentage of THC and cannabinoids, and they now use that product and sell it. And because of all the restrictions on the state and all the fact that they basically can set their own prices, they now have competition. And so I've gone over and I'm trying to help the industrial hemp people who are now in direct competition with the cannabis people.
Okay, so what you're doing, you're actually helping. Are you like a consultant? You're helping these other groups? I thought for a while there that you were actually started your own company producing this, but you're actually helping these companies.
Right, I'm helping them. So what happened is now, so you have like St. Louis County, we had a hearing. They tried to jam it through that you cannot sell any industrial hemp product in St. Louis County. And so they tried to jam that motion through. And the reason is because Lisa Clancy, she's paid by the cannabis people. She's a consultant for them. And so she's trying to close those markets to industrial hemp. And the cannabis people is who finance Sam Page and Lisa Clancy on their campaigns. That's why she's doing it. Okay.
So you're going to come in and try to break up this cartel, so to speak.
Exactly. That's it is a cartel. I mean, plus they have all their rules and regulations, which just really jack up the prices. Right. I went to I got called by someone who owned a dispensary. It's basically a dispensary for industrial hemp.
Okay.
And I went there, and it's right across the street from a place called Suede, which is one of the people in the cannabis industry. And all the customers were going into the industrial hemp location getting their buying their product, and they're really beating up on the cannabis industry. The hemp industry is winning basically.
Yeah, so
and so now they're going to try to stop it. Big money's going to come in. They're going to try to stop it, and they do the usual things, saying, well, children will get hold of the product, and the usual stuff that they had before.
Sure.
The same talking points they use trying to defeat medical marijuana is what they're using now to try to defeat industrial hemp.
They come down to taxes. I mean, is it a matter there's more money? I mean, so as long as they can get their hand in the pot, so to speak. I mean, is it a revenue issue, or I mean, why is there such a lockdown on this?
Well, I talked to the guy who owns the industrial hemp place in the city, and I watched the customers just to kind of see who has the most customers. And he says he pays 11% of a sales tax. So he's contributing to any local group or any local municipality where they're paying the money. So 11%, I think, is pretty darn good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But,
it's actually really good.
Because it's not a monopoly, they're able to beat the prices of the cannabis people.
Yeah.
And most people don't even know what's going on between these products.
No, I certainly don't. And it certainly is a hot issue because you got different things that are popping up here and there, and you have residents and communities that don't want them. But I think a lot of them just don't understand what the heck it is because, again, I didn't understand until you told me what exactly you were doing, what the difference was. And yeah, I think there's a big learning curve that has to be achieved before a lot of this, comes to fruition as far as what you're doing, don't you think? I mean, is it just going to be regulated by one body, or do you think it's going to be deregulated altogether?
Well, that's what the industrial hemp people want is they want regulation. They want this to be regulated. The cannabis industry doesn't want to regulate it because they want to use these excuses to try to knock them totally off the market.
Yeah.
But I think what they really need to do is put some regulation out there. Right now, everyone's self-regulating. So I've been to the industrial hemp people. They don't let anyone in who's under 21. They check for IDs. And so they self-regulate, and they probably regulate harder than the other business, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, so let's pivot a little bit here. You because you're our big St. Louis police officer contact friend, whatnot. Trump is talking about bringing the National Guard into St. Louis. What do you think of that?
I saw that, and if Trump wants to do it, I think it's a great idea. I don't know if the National Guard can do much. I mean, if you don't have arrest power, I think if you're bringing them in to stop riots and things like that, I think that's good.
Yeah.
If you bring them in and let them do like some paperwork or do, I don't know, conveyance people, stuff like that, then it's good. But they don't have arrest powers.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
If you don't, here, I'll tell you a quick story. So I was on the anti-riot detail. Gosh, that had to be at least 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we brought in the National Guard and set them up. And one of my jobs was to just go out to the National Guard. They would report from different locations if they saw any problems breaking out. And I would bring them, we had radios so they could contact us directly. But I'd have to bring them the batteries, and I would do that. And so I'd bring them the batteries. And when I pulled up to bring the batteries, these guys hopped out of their Humvee, these military kids, and they're like, "Hey, we just had a guy who threatened to burn us up and set our vehicles on fire." And I was like, "Well, why didn't you arrest him?" And they're like, "Well, we don't have arrest powers." And
really?
So I look, and the guy's just like a block away, gassing up his car. He's at a gas station.
Wow.
So I went down and arrested him, charged him with making a terrorist threat.
Yeah.
And I listed these kids as a victim, but unless you give them certain powers, there's not really much they can do.
Huh. I didn't realize that. Okay. Is that the situation they have in Washington, D.C. and other places? I mean, they're just, why is there such a big fuss if they can't really do anything?
I don't know. I think if they can help out, I think it's a great idea. But you're going to have to either embed a policeman with them so that way the policeman can make the arrest and then have them assist. But if they don't have arrest power, I don't see what the big deal is. But maybe people don't want them patrolling around. But if they can help, I think it's a great idea. And we got to do something here.
That's just it. And I think even if it is a presence, I mean, if you're gangs or anything, if you're breaking into cars and you have a bunch of soldiers walking around, I'm pretty sure that's a good deterrent, don't you?
Yes. Oh, definitely. And if anything, it's eyes and ears is what you got out there. They can make calls and bring in the police. Now, of course, St. Louis City doesn't have any policemen now.
Yeah, right. What are they down to?
We just don't have anybody there. I heard we got 850 is what I heard.
And what was it at one point when you were, it wasn't over 2,000?
Yeah, when I came on, we were around 2,200.
And down to 850.
And now they're 850.
That's just unbelievable. I mean, and that's why people are leaving, And I think, again, the biggest, going back to this, I don't want to be all over the board here, but I still see people saying, what's it going to take to rebuild St. Louis and get people to move back here and start businesses here again? It's got to be the crime. I mean, as soon as you take care of the crime, people will come back. I mean, I don't think it's really brain science to put those two together, but apparently some people do.
Yes. Well, I went down. In fact, I went downtown 2 days in a row. I had to go to the federal building. And so I walked through downtown just to see what's going on. And here's what I noticed, that the only people I really saw were homeless people and security guards. Everyone has security. I saw Ameren security. I saw security at the, the Union Station had security driving around.
Well, any last words on your THC or anything else going on that you want to throw in here before we let you go?
So, so I have been working on stuff on Amendment 3 that's coming up.
Okay.
Now, last time it was a no on Amendment 3, and we lost that. Those
right.
We lost that vote by 1.5%.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that was a poor effort that was put out. There wasn't a lot of money on our side. And so now we're going to ask people to vote yes on 3.
Right.
So I've reached out to different politicians, and it looks like that Governor Kehoe's wife has set up a PAC. I've reached out to the Kehoe people, the Schmidt people, the Wagner people to see if they're willing to jump on and support this. And it looks like Governor Kehoe's wife has set up a PAC. And the reason I reached out to him was because I used to be a lobbyist for Coalition Life, and Coalition Life is supportive of this. So we will have this vote coming up on Amendment 3. Don't know if it's going to be in the primary next November or the general election next November, or the primary, which I think is in August. Mm-hmm. So we don't know exactly when that's going to be. But this new bill that comes out really has people on, I guess you can say, both sides unhappy, which means probably you have a good bill.
Well, it sounds like you're a busy guy. You got a lot going on, my friend. You got a lot. I appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to talk to us today, though. We come back and tell us what the outcome and all this stuff is in a few weeks.
Yeah, you bet. We'll see how this goes. We got St. Louis County is going to be having a vote on the cannabis versus industrial hemp. And we'll see how that plays out. I think they will just keep probably the status quo on that, and they will probably just come up with some. So we want good regulations on this. We want this stuff to be regulated, and that's what we're looking for on this.
Oh, sounds good.
Regulations, just don't get rid of it. Yeah.
Right. Well, you're a busy guy. And I appreciate you taking the time, and we'll check in and catch up shortly. Okay.
Get that eye better.
Hey, I got my eye on you. You betcha. Okay.
Yeah. When you shoot your gun now, do you? I guess you automatically close and go to one eye, huh?
Yeah, I just shut my both eyes now. You know what I mean? So whatever happens, happens. No, I don't know. I haven't shot any guns yet, but you're going to be the first to know because I'm going to say, Gary, get out of the way. I can't see. Take care, my friend.
All right. Talk to you later.
Well, there he goes, Gary Wiegert. So he made it in on the show and everything, and he had some. I didn't really still understand all the THC stuff, but do you understand it all, my friend? I mean, they've got these shops popping up everywhere, but I don't really partake in that, so I don't really know what it's all about.
He said he was keeping an eye out on these two different stores, and it seemed like a lot more people were going into the industrial hemp store versus the marijuana store. And all I know about industrial hemp is that you can make rope out of it. So I assume they were pirates or something. They needed tools for their big ship, and they probably sell eye patches too. So maybe we can go down there.
is coming all together. I need a sword. Yeah, I'm going to be like, Captain Jack Sparrow or whatever the heck his
Benny
name
the
is.
dog could sit on your shoulder and you could feed him
need
crackers.
a parrot. I don't need a parrot. Benny just sits right on my shoulder, and he's better than a parrot because, parrots don't bite people. Benny does. Well, I'll tell you what, I guess it's time for me to put my head back in the toaster. Have you had a good time today, my friend?
I had a wonderful time. This show was a Christmas miracle. I can't believe we made it happen. It was going to be a repeat, you guys. People are listening right now who hate it. It could have been worse. It could have been a repeat.
It could have been a repeat, but I think it just shows our dedication, to our listeners out there, because we know that getting by a weekend without a fresh episode of the Right Mind Show, it kind of takes away anything to look forward to. I mean, so I hope that we made everybody happy today.
Yeah, you suffered for this episode because, like we said earlier, you have gotten zero sleep, so you had to do a Red Bull colonic.
I don't do Red Bull. I don't. Yeah.
No, it's a colonic. You don't drink it, but yeah.
I'm just delirious. In fact, I don't even know what we're doing here. Am I talking to you right now? I guess I am. You know what I say, buddy, don't you?
What do you always say, if you can remember?
If you don't have a right mind, you don't have a mind at all. Until next time. I've got my eye on you. Hopefully both eyes next time. I'm Todd Showalter, along with my bestest buddy, Joey V. This is The Right Mind Show. Until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter. To find out about all things Todd, go to toddsprod.com. We will see you next Saturday night at 5 p.m. and Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. right here on 101.9, 94.1 News Talk STL, and always streaming online at newstalkstl.com.